Raider Nation, things are heating up in Las Vegas. The team has a massive showdown coming up against the Chiefs, an unexpected reinforcement on the offensive line, heavy trade rumors involving 2 key starters, a powerful statement from Crosby about Mahomes, and finally an update that shows exactly where the Raiders really stand in the NFL. Stick with me because today's breakdown is loaded. Before we dive into every detail, let me hit you with something real quick. Subscribe to the channel. It's free and it helps this Raider Nation community grow. Hit that like button too, because that's how YouTube pushes this talk out to more silver and black fans out there. And drop a comment because this space belongs to everyone who bleeds Raiders. Being a Raiders fan isn't for the faint of heart, and this week proves it. The team earned some respect back with that win over the Titans, but now the challenge is completely different. It's Kansas City time, and going into Arrowhead is one of those missions that separates the talkers from the doers. The truth is, the Raiders are heading into one of the toughest tests of the season, and honestly, it's impossible to pretend everything's fine. 6 games in, and outside of that Week 1 win, it's been a roller coaster. They've won when expected and got smacked when they weren't. And it's not just the losses, it's how they've lost. That 46 beatdown from the Colts still stings because it showed a disconnected team with no clear identity and a defense struggling to hold the line. Even against the Titans, the offense didn't do much to impress. A win, sure, but one that left more questions than answers. And now comes an opponent that's absolutely rolling. The Chiefs are back to being the Chiefs. Mahomes with Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice together again is a nightmare for any defense, especially one still trying to stop the basics. Kansas City's averaging 31 points per game over the last 3 weeks, and that's been against defenses way better than Vegas's. So if the Raiders want to compete, this offense has to wake up. Geno Smith, Ashton Jeanty, everyone's got to bring their best game of the season. Without Bowers, the pressure's on the remaining playmakers to step up. FanDuel's got Vegas at plus 520 on the money line and an 11.5 point underdog on the spread. Yeah, the market's basically written them off. But if there's one thing Raider Nation knows, it ain't over till it's over. We've seen this team silence big crowds before, and that belief still burns. This is the game to prove they're not just another average squad. Show attitude, show grit, and at least make Mahomes uncomfortable. The defense has to hit hard, and the offense, well, it's got to show up. To be real with you, this is the kind of week that separates believers from quitters. And if Derek Stone's still here, you know I don't quit easy. Drop a comment. Do you think the Raiders have any real shot against the Chiefs, or is this mission impossible? Stick around because next up we're talking about a sneaky roster move that could shake things up inside the building. The Raiders made a move that might look minor on the surface, but it shows this team is still trying to fine-tune before that Chiefs matchup. And honestly, it's one of those details people overlook that might matter later. The front office brought back guard McClendon Curtis to the practice squad. Yep, the same guy who was here back in 2023, now returning to add some depth to the offensive line. And considering how banged up this unit's been, it's the kind of signing that makes perfect sense. We've all seen how inconsistent the pass protection's been for Geno Smith, and man, heading into Arrowhead with a patched-up O-line is asking for trouble. Curtis might never be a star, but he's got the versatility coaches love. He spent 5 years at Chattanooga, started 38 games switching between guard and tackle, and earned all-conference honors 3 times. He's bounced around Seattle, Arizona, and New York. Always that steady practice guy who keeps the room stable. And here's the kicker. He started his career right here in Vegas. It's a full-circle move. Pete Carroll seems to be betting on guys who already know the culture, and that says a lot about the philosophy he's building. Less hype, more grit. Carroll said this week the team's in a good place, and that prep for this game is all about execution and confidence. Sounds good, but we all know Arrowhead's a different animal. When the coach talks about confidence, that's a message to everyone, from offense to special teams. And in that same transaction, punter Brad Robbins got released from the practice squad. Nobody's safe, and honestly, I like it. Fans want to see action. Adjustments, reactions, effort to improve, even small moves matter. To be real with you, this might look like a no-name signing, but if you follow this team closely, you know how these O-line injuries have been wrecking plans. In a league where every inch counts, having one more guard ready could be the thin line between keeping the season alive or watching it fall apart. Only here you get this kind of Raiders talk, the real one, straight from the nation. Drop your take. Does Curtis's return bring some stability, or is this just another short-term fix? Because next we've got a topic that's lighting up the rumor mill and could flip this roster upside down. Now things are really heating up. leaks, rumors, and as always, the Raiders are right in the middle of it. This time, the word is trade. According to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, the team is open to moving one of its key starters. And yeah, that hits deep for anyone following the silver and black day to day. The name in question? The wide receiver who led the team in catches last year and who already asked to leave before the season started. The guy wanted a new contract, didn't get it, and now it seems the door's cracked open. The logic's pretty clear. If they lose to the Chiefs and hit the bye at 2-5, management might start thinking future, not present, flipping assets for draft picks. And here's the thing. His trade value isn't that high right now. Best case scenario, they'd get a 4th rounder, and honestly, many fans think they should take that rather than lose him for nothing in the offseason. But it doesn't stop there. Other names are popping up too, even a quarterback reportedly drawing interest. And here's the wild part. There's buzz about a potential deal with the Cardinals involving Kyler Murray. Yeah, you heard that right. A package with Geno Smith and draft picks going to Arizona in exchange for Murray. The idea? Build around a younger, more dynamic quarterback who needs a fresh start. Murray's contract is massive, but the guy still has value. And when you really think about it, it kind of makes sense. The Raiders need a face of the offense, someone to believe in. Geno's solid, but not the long-term answer. This kind of talk shows the front office might already be looking beyond this season. Meanwhile, fans are split. Some say get rid of anyone who doesn't want to be here. Others argue trading talent now means waving the white flag too soon. To be honest with you, I'm torn. Part of me wants a rebuild, fresh blood, new energy. But the other side, the Derek Stone side, wants to see this team fight till the end, no matter what. So, what do you think? Is it time to trade veterans and start over, or hold firm and swing back? Stick around, because up next we're talking about a Crosby quote that captures exactly what being a Raider means. Now this right here is what it's all about. Max Crosby spoke about his rivalry with Patrick Mahomes, and man, what a statement. The guy poured his heart out, showing how this matchup is deeply personal but built on mutual respect. He said he recognizes Mahomes' greatness, but that only fuels his fire more. And anyone in Raider Nation knows, when Crosby talks, fans listen. That mindset, that fire, is what separates regular players from true leaders. You can feel how much he lives for this battle. Arrowhead's chaos doesn't scare him. He thrives in it. He said every time he faces Mahomes, the energy is just different, that they both understand each other without saying a word, that it's a silent war. And that's not PR talk. That's blood and pride. It's respect before and after, but between the lines, it's war. That's the Raider way. This rivalry is one of the best in the league, and watching these two go head-to-head reminds you why we love football. Mahomes represents the Chiefs' dynasty. Crosby represents the Raiders' defiance. It's the classic clash, Flash versus Fury, and Crosby embodies that perfectly. He said he knows he's facing one of the all-time greats, but he also sees himself among the best. Who's arguing? He's been playing at an insane level, even with a roster still finding its identity. He's the heartbeat of this team, the guy who refuses to lose without a fight. And that's what Raider Nation lives for. If everyone played with half his intensity, this squad would be something else. That's the mentality that changes locker rooms and cultures. And honestly, that's all we ask for. Grit, pride, respect for the shield. His words brought back Al Davis's line. The fire that burns brightest in the Raiders organization is the will to win. That's the fire we want to see this Sunday. Drop your thoughts. Can Crosby be the X factor in this one? Because what's coming next shows how that fire's spreading through the rest of the team. After all the chaos, finally some good news for Raider Nation. That win over the Titans was a breath of fresh air, and it's already showing up in the new NFL Power Rankings. Sports Illustrated placed the Raiders at number 26. Not amazing, but after 4 straight losses, it's a sign of life. And honestly, what that win showed goes way beyond numbers. It was the first time in weeks this team looked like it was fighting together, with energy, with purpose. The defense dominated, created turnovers, and gave the offense short fields. That balance we've been begging for finally showed up, and it felt good. Even without Bowers, guys stepped up. Mayer took on responsibility. Jeanty kept the run game moving, and Geno Smith managed drives when it mattered. It wasn't flashy, but it was progress. Pete Carroll praised the team's effort afterward, saying the focus now is building momentum. And every fan knows winning in the NFL is never easy, no matter who's on the other side. Sure, the Titans were struggling, but a win's a win. Nobody's apologizing for that. It was great seeing that defense play with fire again, that no one gets through us attitude. Sitting at 26 might sound low, but if they compete hard against the Chiefs, that ranking's going to rise fast. What's most encouraging is the sense that the locker room's starting to buy into Carroll's vision. One game doesn't fix everything, but it might be the spark. And honestly, this fan base deserves some hope after all the frustration. The ranking shows there's still doubt, but not dismissal. The silver and black aren't done yet. You only get this kind of raw fan perspective right here. No filters, all heart. So tell me, is this the start of something or just a short break before the storm? Because what comes next could set the tone for the rest of the season. Stay tuned because the final message today ties it all together straight from the soul of Raider Nation. After all this, one thing's clear. Being a Raider isn't just about cheering, it's about surviving, believing when nobody else does. That last win gave the team some air, but the real test starts now. Carroll's trying to cement a culture, Crosby's the face of that fight, and the front office has tough calls ahead, future or present. But at the end of the day, what drives it all is Raider Nation. We cheer, we criticize, but we never walk away. Drop a comment. This space is for everyone who lives and breathes silver and black. And remember, every time we think we've seen it all, this team finds a way to shock us again.